So we are going to cover the escape for the triangle now. The triangle, once it's locked and all the way done, so they have everything that they need to finish. Basically, once it's locked, you have about 2 or 3 seconds to get out before you're either tapping or you're passed out. So it takes a little bit of time and practice and a lot of sensitivity to be able to do this escape. But I'll tell you a story. Once I learned it, learned it probably 2 weeks before I competed in a tournament, and I got caught in a triangle in a tournament, and I was able to hang out in this triangle for about 2 minutes. I was able to actually find the position where I was safe and not choking, and I almost tapped a couple times because the person was on the bottom was making a ton of adjustments to try to finish, and I kept having to make adjustments to kind of kill the position, but I was able to escape. So it's this is pretty much the last ditch escape for the triangle once it's locked. Of course, I'm much better at it now, but okay. So
Lock it across, lock it down, and go ahead and make me tap. Go ahead and squeeze.
Good. So you feel it's good, right? Okay, one more time.
And ready.
Okay.
And ready. Go. Finish. Go.
Yeah.
What happened?
My neck, I'm gonna break.
You feel? You were squeezing? Again.
So posture's bad, right? Good. Yeah. Good.
Yeah, that was pretty tight.
Okay. One more time. Let's go. Lock it in. And you can put your hands on my head if you want. Finish. Go. Whew.
Well, I was about a second and a half maybe from tapping, but bam. So let's talk about this escape, okay, and what I'm doing. So in order to do this escape, what I want to do is I'm going to bring myself parallel with my opponent. Okay, so I'm actually walking to the side. I don't want to stack him. So what happens is if I get really close to him and he's ball up, and so what I want to do is I'm going to put my hand out, and I want to actually keep myself high. I want to keep myself up high. And now, so the best way I can describe this is, it's like lining up crosshairs. So his shoulder line is one line, and there's a line straight through his spine. So the goal for me is to bring all of his weight and my weight just above, if you sit up real quick, just above right here where the shoulder line crosses with the neckline, which is right at the base of his neck. So what I'm doing is I'm bringing all of his weight and my weight. I'm basically putting his neck at kind of a 90-degree angle, bending his neck at a 90-degree angle and dragging his weight over it. So one of the keys to this escape is I cannot be low with my head. I have to kind of be high, okay? I have to kind of get up. And it doesn't matter if he's grabbing my head, because you were grabbing my head, pulling my head down, right? What I'm trying to do is I'm trying to line up those crosshairs. And once I line up those crosshairs, what I'm doing is I'm just dragging his weight over his head. So a lot of mistakes that I see when people try this is either their weight is too much over to one shoulder or the other shoulder, okay? I want to try to keep his weight in the middle. So how to practice this is this. So just put the triangle position, but don't squeeze. Okay. So I don't want you applying pressure that you're finishing.
Okay.
So the goal is once we get here, okay, and I want to put my arm to this side, just so he can't arm lock me here, right? And if he goes for the arm lock from here, there's a very easy escape. But once I'm here, the goal is to walk my weight over his head, and there's a certain point where do you feel you can lock everything? Is your legs locked? Lock your legs.
Okay.
Is to find the place where his legs break, right here.
Oh.
You feel how you can't keep your legs crossed anymore?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, let's scoot it back a little bit. Okay, lock your legs. Good. So from here, just keep those legs crossed, but don't squeeze.
Okay.
So the goal is to bring your weight there. You feel? There's that certain spot where your legs had to break, and now I'm out. You feel? Okay.
So, and you feel the line is right at the base of his neck. So, Mike, you have a little bit longer legs. Will you come here? Let's scoot down a little bit.
Lock it.
Yep.
Okay, you feel it's locked? Go ahead and squeeze. Yes. Okay, ready?
Yep.
Let's go. Finish me. Pull my head if you want.
So there's not much time. You know, it's definitely pretty tight, and once you get out, you need to get that big breath of fresh air. But there's a certain point where your opponent gets weak, and if you can drag their weight over that point, which is basically right at the base of my neck, right kind of where that big vertebrae is between the spine and the shoulder line. So the goal is to get perpendicular to them, and once I get perpendicular, one more time please.
Once I'm perpendicular here, now what I'm doing is I'm lining up cross here. So if my weight is over here, I'm too much on this shoulder, right? If my weight is over here, I'm too much on this shoulder. So I want to be in the middle. And the goal now is to walk his weight. Keep cross your legs for a second, but don't finish. Yeah, just don't squeeze.
Yep.
So I can talk. And then the goal is to bring all of his weight. Do you feel that spot? So let's move a little bit this way.
And so, let's try this way. So when people are practicing, this is the way to practice it, is just have someone lock in the position.
Without squeezing their legs. So I get perpendicular and I'm trying to walk my weight. Do you see how his neck is being bent? Do you have your ankle crossed behind your knee? It's crossed, right? So as I drag it over your neck, do you see how high I am? So if I go low, do you feel comfortable?
I feel okay.
You feel comfortable?
Yeah.
So the stacking doesn't work. But as I go here,
As I come up, it basically lines his vertebrae up. Everything kind of lined up with his neck, and it breaks. So I can't allow him to ball up. I can't allow him to be a ball. So it's not a tough escape to learn, but it takes quite a bit of practice. And once you get it down, you'll feel exactly how you need to, where you need to apply pressure. It's the same spot on everyone. It's basically right where the shoulder line crosses with the vertebrae. There's that little bit, and all I'm doing is walking my weight over their neck and a little bit past their head. There's a certain spot where you'll feel they'll have it really tight, and then all of a sudden the legs will just break. Okay, so the way to practice it is just have your partner lock their legs up, and without squeezing, that way you have some time to be able to practice and feel where that spot is. Once you hit that spot, what will happen is their legs will immediately just break apart. So once you can keep finding that spot, then what you want to do is you want to let them lock the triangle and start to squeeze a little bit and see if you can get out. Let them squeeze their legs. Once you get comfortable with that, then let them grab the back of your head and squeeze with their legs. So what it is it's a progression. You're allowing things to get worse and worse and worse and seeing if you can still get out. Okay. So it took me obviously a lot of practice, but this is such a great escape because most people, once those legs are locked, once you get in the triangle, most people are done. They're tapped, or they're trying to pull out, and a lot of times that's not going to work, or they sit back. So the idea is to drag, put all of their weight, all of that pressure on the back of their neck, and it feels almost like your neck is going to break. But it puts you at a point where you're completely weak and the legs just burst open.